What the hell is this crap? Time for BearShark TV. Brutally honest television. Get the kids out of the room, hide the pets, get it all out. Because here comes the BearShark. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Welcome in to BearShark TV, the most zen channel. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously. That was for me to calm down before I came on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the BearShark Den. This is BearShark TV, brutally honest television for the rest of us, where we sit here and say enough is enough. Today is a day where we're going to kick some people right in the throat, and it's not going to feel good, but hey, that's what I'm here for. Let's say hey to everybody before I go ranting away. Freedom Gal, what's up? Stevie Lee, Jordan, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're feeling better today, too. Trish, as always, Jill, Monorail, Steve, Mike B, Rob is putting up steel. There's a lot of jokes I can make about that, Rob, and since it's not FPE, I can. Let's see, so we got everybody coming in saying, hey, Kate, what's happening? Today is about something that's you probably have experienced. We all have experienced this to a certain degree. It has to do with big businesses. They don't care. It's really just simple. And what's really funny about it is I put it up as evil businesses. It's not that they're evil. It's just they've created a monster. And we fall into the trap. We do it every day. And it's really simple. In my own personal life, and we all have seen that, new to the rant. What's up, Kay? Welcome in. Buckle up, because this one is not like our other channel. This one is rated R plus. So I hope your feelings are in check, because we go to a place that not many people go. Corporate greed is real, and Trish has just put that in there. It's a craziness that happens. I'm going to start off with something that happened. I brought it up last night. I got a lot of messages about it. Let me put this up right now. Trish and Rob, you guys are like one brain. I love you. So here it is. It's evil business in you. How does it affect you? What does it do? So last night I brought this up. What it says is this is enterprise risk management. Your rental status is revoked. It's imperative we speak to you. Now, this was on Friday, and I talked to them, and I talked to the corporate office, and I talked to everybody else, and they understood what was going on and said, okay, you've paid us thousands of dollars in the last 2 months, which is insane, by the way. Rob, we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Because of which we'll get to direct auto. We'll get to my finance company. We'll get to all those things, I promise, because this is all kind of intertwined with one part, and then we're going to talk about another aspect that I think we're lost in the woods with. Good reference, right? So if you see the second part, you do not have permission to possess our property. Failure to return this vehicle may violate Florida statutes and may constitute a felony. So I paid them thousands of dollars. We've had this. As anybody that's watched any of our channels knows, when the hurricane came through, when Hurricane Ian came through, we rented a car. So we literally rented a car because Direct Auto, which they're going to get tied in right now, has been jerking us around for over 5.5 months now about our car, which we may actually get back this week. There is the potential that that'll happen. So it's literally one of these things where we rented a car. We were tired of Ubering everywhere because it limited us from being able to do anything. In other words, we couldn't go to a dollar store. We couldn't go to Target. We couldn't go out to eat. Anytime that we went somewhere, because of where we live, we're talking about $20 to $40 to $70 to $80 in addition to whatever we were going to go do. That's not economical. The rental car was at an insurance rate and so on and so forth. But so they give me this BS bullshit excuse that, hey, we can't rent you the car for more than a month. Well, then why am I hearing about it 2 months later? So your policy's bullshit, you're lying to me, and I'm just supposed to swallow it. So as Jen put in there, the woman who that number right there, by the way, she's a bitch. She literally sat there and threatened us. She threatened me to throw us in jail. We paid our bill. We did what we were supposed to do. They got a credit card on file. So I returned the car yesterday. We're without a car again. We have shopping orders. We have all the things that we would normally do. We have our lives going on. We've built a business. We're doing all this stuff. But big business doesn't care. Big business wants to knock that small business out. Now, I'm not picking on small businesses. Why? Small businesses are what drives this country. They are the engine of this country. They bust their ass. They do a great job for you. You should support every small business and tell these big retail people to go stick up their ass because at the end of the day, they don't care about you. When I got on the phone with corporate, oh, we feel bad for you. Oh, yeah, here's a lollipop. Take the lollipop and jam it so far up your ass you can smell it. That's my opinion. So, Enterprise thinks that they can get away with this because there's no option. Well, this isn't a paid-for sponsor, but have you ever heard of Turo? T-U-R-O. From now on, next time you're going somewhere, check out Turo instead of going to Enterprise or to one of these other national chains. These are people who are renting out their car, or they own a car, or they're trying to develop a small business for themselves. Support those people. Why? You're supporting your community then. If you're supporting your community, you're putting money back into it. Here's a statistic most people don't know. When you support a large company, 70 to 85% of that money that you're spending in your local community doesn't stay there. It goes out. When you support a local business, 80% of that money stays in your community, thus making it a better scenario for you, for the person who you're supporting. They could be your frickin' next door neighbor for all you know. That's what you should be doing. Support local small business is the theme here. So moving down the road, Direct Auto, which all of you guys know I can't stand more than anything. They're the people who basically screwed us over when it comes to the car, have denied our claim for the engine part of our claim. I have to eat $3,600. That's what it comes down to. We're going to eat $3,600 in repair. Is what it is. I don't have a choice. Now, the truth is, before everybody says anything, I'm just not doing it. What I did was I took the check for the body repairs and I'm fixing the engine aspect of our car. So we're going to wind up at some point just turning our car back in and getting a different car, because the simple truth is, I don't care what the car looks like. It needs to run right now. Like, we just need our car back. And they have put us in such a position where we did nothing wrong. If you're joining us and you don't know, we got hit by a Mears bus. We got hit by a Swan and Dolphin bus at Animal Kingdom back in June. We have been told by Mears they're at fault. They won't do anything about it. Our attorney at the time said to us there's not enough meat on the bone to go after it. We contacted other people who sat there and said there's no personal injury. We don't care. The property damage isn't worth it, and I'm not willing to pay an attorney $400 an hour to go after it because I'm going to wind up losing more money. So you get to a place where you go, they're not your friend. Your insurance company doesn't work for you. They don't care. Why aren't they going after Mears? Why are they going after me? So they're saying to me that the car gets hit. It's working at the time, gets hit, stops working, not related to the accident. I must be the stupidest man in the world. They told us, couldn't you? Yeah, and that's exactly the point, Freedom Gal. Like, everything now is no longer dependent upon what you can and can't do. It's dependent upon what they determine, whatever their policy is, whatever their rule. Okay, fine, that's great, but support somebody else. If you guys have any questions, we have a concierge company. Contact us. We'll be happy to point you in the right direction if you're coming to our area. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. So let's move forward. I'm not going to point out and I probably have in the past, but I'm not going to point specifically to my finance company. The reason being is they're working with me, but not really. So they flat out lied to me. Now, anybody who has any kind of accounting background, law background, business background knows what a fiduciary responsibility is. My finance company has a fiduciary responsibility to me. They hold the note to my car. They can't lie to me. First of all, they're finance institute. They're not allowed to lie about the money aspect of our contract. They lied to me 4 times. I have it in writing. I've been contemplating whether or not when I turn the car and whether or not I'm going to turn them in. So I do everything. I jump through the hoops that they asked me to. I drove down to Kia because they needed a specific form. Kia would not give it to me. And I don't blame Kia, by the way. I don't think that they did anything wrong. I think they were being stupid, but that's my personal opinion because I'm pissed. But the bottom line comes down to it is what we're really talking about here is I went down to the dealership. I get all the paperwork. I do everything that my company asked me to do. I overnight it to them at $96 for an overnight, by the way, from here to California. I do everything. They said to me, 24 to 48 hour turnaround. Well, that was a week and a half ago. It has to go through a review process. Now, keep in mind, I sent them a $2,000 check. So, basically, I send them $2,000 from the insurance company. It's made out to me and to them. All they have to do is process it. They said to me, it's your money. We're going to process it to your account. It'll go against your account balance. And I sat there and I'm like, this is not going to end well. And they're like, we cut a check back. We send it directly to them, blah, 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 blah. How long? 24 to 48 hours. No. So we're into the next week. And where are we? We're Tuesday. They're telling me maybe Thursday. Well, that would be another 24 to 48 hours. The rules don't apply. They don't have to stick to them because who the hell is going to enforce them? Let me go ahead and tell you about the Florida Insurance Commission. So the Florida Insurance Commission, my senator here in Florida, and our councilmen here, our mayors here, I've contacted everyone. Everyone. Because the Florida Insurance Commission sat there and said, there's nothing we can do. The insurance company, they've met and they use the words, the minimum requirements. They've done the minimum. No, Gator, if it was leased, I would have been pushing for a total loss. And I have gap insurance. You know, what everyone probably doesn't know is my background is in finance. I was actually a finance manager at a car dealership when I was like in my early 20s. So I know the guidelines. I know how to maneuver through the system. The problem is the system doesn't care anymore. The system is at a place where they just don't give a shit. The person that's on the phone, if you get someone that's in this country that is listening, they still don't care. The person overseas is like, I'm reading a script. This is what it is. I can't wait to get you to my supervisor because you're going to ask me for it. They put you through the supervisor, and the supervisor's job is to tell you no. Period. That's just the way it is. There is no, because we've worked the system so long, they don't care about it anymore. They're not there for you. They don't care. Now, I can tell you this, as anybody that's ever worked with a small business, get an owner of a small business on the phone and tell them that they've screwed up. And let me tell you something, they're going to bend over backwards. I can tell you right now, we have, right here, we had an order that went through. and I won't get into the particulars of it, but Jen knows that we had a return on a Dooney, of all things, because the placement of the bag wasn't perfect. Now, we could have sat there and said, go blow it out your ass. We didn't do that. We took the bag back in. We took a loss. We did everything we were supposed to do. Why? Because we want to retain the customer. We want that client to feel like, you know what? They do care. Now, they've never placed an order and we've never heard from them again, but that's not the point. That's our personal integrity. And when you have integrity, the world is a better place. We're running out of integrity, and that's part of the problem. People assume the little guy is stupid. The truth is the little guy is kind of stupid because we allow it to happen. If we didn't allow it to happen, and we're going to get there in a second, believe it or not, it's kind of crazy. Kate, being repaid is part of the legal system. And by the way, if the system wasn't broken, none of this shit would have happened. If in June we got hit, and there's a whole nother side story, which we'll get to in a second. If in June when we got hit, the process had worked, we'd already have our car back. We'd have had it back in 60 days. We would have had it back in 45 days. They don't want it to work. They want this because they figure we'll just go away. The problem is, I'm an asshole. I'm not going anywhere. I got nothing but time, and I'm not going anywhere. I will take this as far as I have to. I'll run for frickin' congressman if I have to. Because at the end of the day, I only have one beef. And it's the fact that insurance is broken in Florida. There's no doubt. So it's really a sad thing. I'll give you guys a funny thing as a quip as to why this is so broken. We were hit on the 23rd of June. I got paperwork from our insurance company July 22nd. So it's a month later. In the state of Florida, you have 14 days to do PIP, which is personal injury protection. I had 14 days to fill out the paperwork. But do the freaking math. They didn't send me the paperwork until the 22nd. How the hell can I file? So I'm immediately no longer eligible for my PIP benefits because they didn't send it to me. Do you know what the insurance commission said? Sorry. Nobody cares. Big business isn't your friend. Support small businesses. Otherwise, why bother? So, it starts with Direct Auto screwing us. It goes to my finance company saying, hey, we're now not just holding the note to your car, but we're in the repair industry, which they're not. So they're going to dictate where my money goes and how I use it, which is total crap. It's never been like that in the history of the industry. And then you get Enterprise that sat there and said, we're going to take advantage of your misery. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to treat you like crap for giving us thousands of dollars. So even though I did what we were supposed to do, I get treated like a felon. That's nice. That's nice. So it brings me down to, because I made a couple of points that I wanted to make sure that I went over. Customer loyalty. Used to be, you remember punch cards or a little keychain swab that we would have, and we would go to our grocery store and we'd boop. These things have made us numb to being loyal customers. All right, because we're out to save a buck. Why? Here comes the political part of the rant. Because our inflation is through the frickin' roof because we rely too much on everything else other than ourselves. Which, wow, I can't wait to rant on that next week. There's 2 more rants coming, by the way, before Christmas. One will be about inflation and politics, and the other one will be about how to survive with your family because of inflation and politics. So we have all those coming. So the bottom line is customer loyalty is dead because we are price driven. So instead of saying, you know what, I don't want, do I even have it sitting around? I don't at this point. I'll give you a bottom line. I get my pins, the ones that I sent out in the treasure box and the ones that we're waiting on. Unfortunately, when I placed the order the first time, I didn't know this because they're an American company. They get them from China. So my pins are sitting at port, and they have been for 10 days. It might even be longer than that at this point. I stopped counting. So I found another company, which we'll be ordering from next time, and it says I can pay more for an American-made pin. Okay. I'm willing to pay more for it. Does that mean you will? No. I'm just going to eat it. Why? Because as a business owner, that's my choice. But by not knowing and not being given the option, I can't do what I want to do. I want to support the businesses locally that I can, which is why I work with local businesses. When we do our concierge service, I work with local people. I work with local accounts. I work with anything and everything that's local. It's why I try to produce as much of our product as we can because I can control quality control. So, Freedom Gal, you're doing your part right now. Watching, sharing, liking, hitting subscribe. That's the things that help us, which we're going to get to a third part of my rant in just a minute. So customer loyalty is pretty much dead. They did it almost deliberately, and it's to create a buying frenzy, if you will. Look at my frenzy. That frenzy is, hey, well, so and so will give me the widget. Though I can buy this pen for 50 cents at one store, but I can buy it for 48 cents at another store. Will you give it to me for 48 cents like the other store will? If not, I'll drive 15 miles to save 2 cents. Are we kidding? It didn't cost you more gas. We don't think anymore. We don't realize that sometimes, and the housing crisis is doing this to us too. How far are we willing to move out from our job, and we're not taking into consideration our insurance goes up, our traveling expense goes up, wear and tear on our car goes up, gas goes up. All of these things, because I'm a finance brain, those are the things that apply. You might pay $200 more in rent, but you're going to save yourself $300 in gas. So, you know, Kate, it's funny. It's not about that. And by the way, I totally appreciate it. I do, but I'm not the only one going through it. We are all going through it in some capacity, and that's what BearShark TV is here for. It's not for me to bitch about me. It's to say I can relate. It's for me to sit there and say we are all doing this. There's something, I guarantee you, every one of you has a story about a company that screwed you over in some capacity. Mine just happens for whatever reason to be on a huge scale, and I don't understand it. It's kind of stupid. But the funny part is prior to COVID, we had a company with multiple employees. We had huge payrolls. We were a very, very well-functioning company. And because of a stupid decision based on something which I can't speak about because YouTube will take the video down, we are put in a position. If we were still in the position that we were in 3 years ago, this wouldn't have been an issue. We would have taken care of it. We would have dealt with it. I would have literally turned the car in as soon as it was hit, and we would have moved on. And I would have said, well, you guys deal with it. That's your problem. And to Gator Ghost's point, he said was at least, I would have simply released another car because at that point we were leasing. So there were a couple of things that were totally different. The thing is this community, the people that are here right now, it's people that are saying to themselves, well, wait a second, there's another way of doing this, which brings me to supply and demand. Economics, supply-side economics is very simple. It says that supply and demand are dependent upon one another. The greater the supply, the less the demand. And they kind of go back and forth. And that's the way this works. So in other words, if you have 100 pens, but only 2 people want to buy it, the price comes down. If you have 2 pens and 100 people that want to buy it, the price goes up. It's a very, very simple concept. So we, in all actuality, can dictate how much things are bought and sold for. We just don't. That's going to bring me into how do we change it? We change it through our spending habits. We change it through social media and through social media influence. Now, we have social media influencers. I'm going to say something that my wife said I shouldn't say, which is social media influence is stupid. It's not that it's stupid in the sense of we should show people the small businesses, that we should show these other things. It's A, we don't charge enough, and B, we do really stupid crap to try and make their product look better. How many times have you turned on the news and a TikTok or Instagrammer fell off a cliff or off the top of a building or did something stupid, got in a car accident? Folks, your life is not worth their product. It's not worth it. You're not getting paid enough. You don't own the company. You can't do that. If you want to I'm sitting in a home office right now. I'm here right now. Green screen's behind me. You want to influence? Fantastic. You want to go out there and use your voice for something positive? Fantastic. You're pissed? Open BearShark TV too. The thing is, we have the ability to affect their change. Now, I don't believe in boycotts. Why? I'm not saying they're not effective. They are. But we literally sometimes use them in such a capacity where it's out of hate. Hate's a bad place to start from. Period. Be pissed. Pissed is a great fuel for any motivational fire whatsoever. I don't care who you are. Absolutely, Freedom Gal, and we're glad to have you here. So Kate put in, my housing is being threatened right now because my landlord failed, but I'm being penalized for it so my landlord doesn't fix. Now, Kate, there are laws against that. That you have a legal standing on. I don't know what state you're in or where you are, but let me tell you something. Contact somebody. Housing authority won't allow that. There are so many things that will help you when it comes to it. Let me rephrase that. They should. In this world, I don't know. I mean, I just spoke like it was like 1990 and things still made sense. But if that's the case, the legal system should help you, depending upon what your circumstances are. They should help you. Courts don't like, especially in December and Christmas times and cold, and they don't like when landlords screw up. I can't get to court is half of my problem. Wilmington, Delaware. Delaware has great tax laws and they're pretty good about the way that they work their system. At least they used to be. I would absolutely look into call one of the free hotlines. Get on the phone with some people. Start to do what you can. What's up, Theo? So, but that's the point. The world doesn't make sense anymore. Common Sense is now a book written by a guy people think invented electricity. Anyway, so we have the ability to affect change. You need pens. We sell pens. Ross, I still need to talk to you. Teresa, how are you? Let's see. So, but we can do those things by doing it a little differently. Boycotts, I don't think, actually work because at the end of the day, it's such a massive effect that you need to have on them. And I'll give you another example. Yesterday, our invoicing system crashed, which, by the way, Jen, this was the fourth one I couldn't think of. Everyone knows we use PayPal. PayPal doesn't care. They do not care. We have 3 accounts with them. They don't care. Why? Because we don't put $1 million in a month. We don't put in $100,000 a day. We're a small business and they don't care. So we're working around getting through that system. And we probably have it fixed today. At least I think we do. By the end of the day, I'll probably have it done. But the point is, everybody, is that here's a company I'm reliant on, big business, to help my small business so that I can bring things, or we can bring things to you. You as a consumer should be pissed that they're in the way. Now, there's another company that we work very closely with because we go there every day and we don't speak ill. But there are some huge negative connotations there as well. And it's not a lot of their fault. Let me start off by saying that. But because we as an individual, and this goes back to customer loyalty and some of the other stuff, we all have this entitlement that makes us feel that we're more special. The other thing. Gator, that is such a loaded question. I don't really care. If we don't like it, we'll delete it. The bottom line is, when you feel that you have entitlement to something, you will put your needs above someone else's. Now, in a capitalistic society, I don't really care about that. Like, that's not my problem. The biggest thing in a free society is by sitting here saying that as long as you don't impede on my freedoms, I don't care what you do. You want to sit in your house and smear yourself in baby oil and slide down the stairs? As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care what you do. You got some weird thing, some fetish, some kink you want to do, knock yourself out. Just don't let me know about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. And the same goes for my house outside of it. Stay out of my damn house. Okay, what I do is my business. It's none of yours. But when you cross into the public domain or a private domain that is essentially letting people in as where the general public can get to, you have to have decorum and respect for others. You have to respect someone's personal space sometimes, and we don't do that. We have gotten to a place where, well, I support my I did my money. I can do what the hell I want to do. No, that's not the way it works. Sorry. You may not like it, but no. So a lot of streamers, vloggers, influencers, whatever you want to call them, will go into these particular parks. They cut off the person who spent $10,000 on their vacation. They get in their way. They don't care. They have no respect. They don't go to the back of the boat so that they're not interrupting people. They make it about them because it's only about them. And they're going to cost the rest of us our privileges. Because they have no respect for themselves. And it's only about them. And they drive with their camera in their face and they're driving around town. They get into an accident. They don't care. They put on makeup. They do this. They're eating. What are you guys doing? You go into the park. You're cutting people off. You knock over a kid. You do this. Now, I'm guilty of it. I'm going to tell you right now. One of the first vlogs or live streams I ever did was from Hollywood Studios. I wasn't paying attention because I was still getting the hang of doing it. I hit a trash can in Batu and took out, literally, a family of 4. Like, it was one of the funniest things. It's a story I tell all the time. Were they happy about it? No. What's up, Derek? I try to support small business. It gets to be a problem when you can't find small business to help you. Well, and that's actually a good point, Freedom Gal. I mean, it just depends upon basically your sociodemographics. It depends upon where you are, what you want to deal with. Most businesses are available online. It just depends upon what you're looking for. But there's always something somewhere, and that's the thing. But when we're talking about this other group of people, they have to start to realize that if we want to continue being able to do what we do, we also have to realize that you have to be professional. You have to have a decorum. You have to treat yourself as if you're still a guest. Last year, it's not this year, but last year, and I bet you Jen's up there this year. When I checked with guest services last year, before our 1-year anniversary, I'd gone 331 times to the park. Jen's up there. This year I'm not. Does that mean we're more entitled? Blair, what's happening? Does that mean that we're more entitled than the person who came down here with their 4 kids? No. We all paid an entrance fee to go in there. We all have the same rules. We all have the same everything. And it's time for other people to start acting that part. And as long as we continue to watch those other channels and we continue to support their negative behavior, let me tell you something. There's a chance that they remove the ability to live stream from the parks. There's a chance that they say enough is enough with this crap. You guys are interfering with guest services. What are you guys going to do if they all of a sudden one day say, no more live streaming, no more vlogs, no more anything, go stick it? Disney comes out with their ability to do it and says, or Universal or Busch Gardens or whoever says, hey, we're going to go and do it ourselves. We don't need you. No personal interaction, no experience, no nothing. No, hey, tell us where you want to go in the parks. No, let's go explore. No, none of that. Stop supporting the people who allow these things to happen, the people who cut in line, the people who make it about themselves. You can't do that. It's why we sit in the back at Pirates. It's why we sit in the back for everything. It's why we sit there and say we're not going to talk during the show. We're not going to do this. It's not about us. It's about your experience. We do it for you. Because if they cut it off tomorrow, we still get to go in the park. You don't. You guys should be pissed. You should be pissed. Right outside, right here, right there. Park's 1,000 yards away. Just saying. So there's a lot of those things that we can change, we can be different about. Big business doesn't care about you. They don't care about me. Support your small businesses. Do the best that you can. It's literally all that we got. When it comes to certain things you don't have a choice about, do the best you can. What am I talking about? Got to get gas in your car. There are certain things you can't change. Where you live, how you live, what you're doing. You can change them. It's just expensive. It's a pain in the ass. But the bottom line is be selective. Do your homework. It's personal interaction versus commercial for the company. That's what makes a lot of people. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the point. Is one of the things that we hear over and over again is we read our comments. Well, why would we have a live stream if we're not going to read the comments? If I don't care, I'll make it a premiere. Or I'll just shut them off and walk through the park and I don't care what you have to say. Well, doesn't that make me a narcissistic asshole? Yeah, it does, actually. These people who sit there and go, hey, look at me. I said to Jen the other day, we don't see her enough on stream. She doesn't turn the camera around that often. And she said to me, because it's not about us. Damn, I got my words thrown back in my face. That's true. There's a lot of times where we are making sure that you are having the best experience. And that is what we do. Look at... Yeah, well, and Wheeler just brought up a good point. For a good example, look at Disney in-park live streamer and the chats compared to Disney Parks live stream. They're totally different. And Mike's right. They don't care. I was in there for one of the things that they were streaming live in the park and we weren't doing. And I looked at it, and it's a bash fest. And Disney doesn't have moderators. They have nobody sitting there watching. And what it turns into is it's basically hate speech. Not that I believe that there is such a thing, but it's basically just people just pontificating hate. I mean, it was pretty much just like, wow. But I mean, if you go around and you look at the different streams, it's not hard to get lost in the mix. One of the things we're always worried about is, as we're growing, making sure that we keep that personal connection, making sure that we talk directly to you guys, making sure that you have access to us. I kind of learned that about business because of the pandemic. Blair, a lot of things changed because of that. We went from being a business with 15 employees, huge payrolls, and, basically, we went from a pretty vast company in 6 months to being almost out of business. And by the time we were live streaming, many of you guys remember my stream from AK. Actually, I shouldn't say many. There were only 30 people watching back then. Where I closed, literally, I was on screen dealing with the emotional issue of, I just closed 80% of my business. I didn't know what we were going to do. I had no idea. It happened so quickly. And you have to realize that there's a word most people don't know, or a phrase a lot of people don't know. It's called a paradigm shift. And if you don't see it and you're not with it, you're behind it. And if you're behind that, man, is it bad. We were fortunate enough that if in high school or in junior high they had told me about this job and it would have been called a facilitator, I would have been a facilitator from the word go. It's what I'm great at. A facilitator tells everybody what to do, by the way, and usually it's called management, but facilitator actually can see the process, knows how to do it, can take it through from start to finish. It's kind of like a project manager, except on a larger scale. I saw it coming, not to the degree that it happened, but I realized that there was going to be some issues. Did I foresee the entire outcome? No. But it had to be where once it started to change, you either accept the fact that it's changing or you don't. And if you're not willing to accept the fact that it's changing, you're screwed. We did. That didn't make it better. It didn't make it easier. It didn't mean that when we lost, I almost said 90% of our income. We lost 100% of our income at one point. It didn't make it easier. But you have to find a way to fight and get through it. And, my daughter always cries when I say it, but there's a Rocky Balboa quote, and it's about how life hits you pretty hard. And that you have to be able to take that punch, get up, and keep moving forward. So that's me paraphrasing. I hate people who spend time bashing the vloggers who care about compassion. So I agree. There are some really great people out there that are doing this. They go off to the side. And by the way, we see them. They go off to the side. They're not interacting. They do their thing. When people walk up, they're gracious and not fake. My goodness, what I see makes me want to puke sometimes with the fakeness. And then there are just people who just bully right over it. So were you able to recover any of your business? No. So here's the funny part, Blair. Before we got started, we've been a marketing company for 17 years. Did we get a PayPal? Like, really? Did I miss something? I miss everything? Thank you, Derek. Let me put this up real quick. Boop, boop, doo at the broadcast. Boop. Thank you, Derek. We do. We appreciate it. I don't have anything for emojis or anything when it comes to popping up, when people do something nice on this channel. Sorry. That's an FPE thing. When we got started doing what we were doing, we've had a marketing company for 17 years. We've always been a marketing company. We used to do... thank you, Jen. We always have done like hotel marketing and things along those lines. We expanded into wedding marketing, and I came up with a concept that had to do with it was a bridal directory, wedding directory for individual cities, and we may reopen it at some point. It's just we have our hands in so many things right now, and I have no employees. That was one of the things where nobody wants to work right now. So we have a very hard time expanding. Last night I touched on it from the other home stream, was the fact that I've been looking for a graphic designer for months. I could rant about that all by itself. So we went from a company with 15 employees and huge payrolls and business meetings and all the things that you would expect us to be doing to when we took our EIDL and PPP loans and everything, we paid everybody for months. And then as soon as I went to them and said, hey, I need to cut you guys down to 60%, we haven't brought any money in 5 months, we lost half of our employees overnight because there's no loyalty. And then we lost the other ones over the course of the next couple of weeks. And we were down to like 1 or 2 people. And then finally it just came down to it was we could not support the business anymore because I didn't have the employees. And the catch-22 was I started losing clients because I didn't have the employees to service them, and round we went. And so finally, we looked at the fact that we had to reinvent ourselves. And it happened when Jen was homeschooling Bella. I was driving them nuts. I went into the park. I had always intended on starting a vlog. And I went into the park, I started vlogging, and what was missing from vlogging was live streaming. I missed the interaction. I wanted to talk with you guys. I wanted the feedback of what we were doing, and that's how we got started. And out of that, we started building things. Now we have a personal concierge business. We have personal shopping. We have treasure boxes. We have, we're building a t-shirt business, t-shirt and apparel and merch and everything else. We have laser engravers coming. We're going to be doing direct-to-film transfer printers coming. We're going to increase the way that we stream. Everything that we're doing is now based around what we're doing now, but with branches of it. So like if, with the concierge side of it, that encapsulates virtually anything that you could possibly imagine. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see if they really... See, and that's the thing is, Mike Wheeler put it in there, and this is kind of what I was getting at. If people hated what these people were doing, they'd stop watching them. And we need to stop supporting those creators that are doing it wrong. The people who post the stuff. We got in trouble for filming backstage. They literally pulled me into the security office and said, if you don't stop this, we're going to pull your park pass. We don't stream backstage. I don't even take pictures. Well, I take pictures, but I don't post them. I have more pictures when the Christmas trees were coming out. Jen and I were the first people to see them last year and this year. We saw the train come out. We know where the monorail goes to sleep. We've seen everything you could possibly imagine. We saw the 50th monorail before any of you. We saw everything. We see everything. I have pictures I can't post of the fireworks launcher exploding last year. I can't post it. It's backstage. I took down the other video that I had. We don't do those things, but yet I watch people do it every day. And at some point, it's going to bite us in the ass. Stop supporting these people. Stop watching them. Tell more people to come watch us. Not because I want us to be the biggest and the best and the greatest. That's never going to happen. There's other channels way, way bigger than we are. That's okay. That's okay. It's not just about one channel. It's about doing it right. If every channel did it right, I'd support every one of them. You have to. You have to support the good and not the bad. It's really simple. Let's see. I got a little bit behind, so Mike's going to yell at me. To be honest, I've really gotten... Blair, everybody took a beating. We're not back 100% on our feet. I got to be honest with you. We're not where we need to be. I mean, keep in mind. Here, let's put it back up on screen. This is what happened to us. This is from Enterprise, from Friday and from yesterday. They threatened us with a felony. Now we're without a car again until my finance company decides that they're going to send the check so that I can go pick up my car. It's not right. This is from a household that had 2 cars. I had 2 properties, one in Hilton Head and one in the west coast of Florida. Now I live in a rental in Orlando. Now, I'm not complaining because of where I live, but at the end of the day, we have swapped how we live and what we're doing. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. Yeah, Trish. I mean, lack of loyalty is unbelievable. I mean, we have got to go back to. There's a local video store opens, and wow, I'm about to make myself 1,000 years old. Local video store opens up next to a Blockbuster. Which one do you go to? You go to the local guy. Support him. Support the taco truck. Support the people who are trying to get bigger and do it the right way. Help them achieve their dream. You may decide at some point you want something. And if you want it, the people who you supported will support you. I'm going to tell you an absolute fact. When it comes to small business, I only support the people who support us. If there are people out there that, like for instance, are sponsors. If I were going to go buy a home tomorrow, you don't think I'm using Victor? Of course I am. You don't think if I'm going to travel, I'm not going to use Chris from Cloud9? Of course I am. You don't think that if I was going to rent a home here, I'm not going to use Circular? Of course I am. And the list goes on and on and on. There are other businesses that buy from us through treasure boxes. You don't think I would take notes? Of course I do. I know everybody who's doing it. So we make sure that we do those things. So, Freedom Gal, we appreciate that. Let's see. I know this may sound basic, but can you get it all back nowadays if you want it, as in if you get a bunch? Probably not, Blair. There's a huge difference. What's happened is we built a company. Companies don't happen overnight. So when we built the company, it took years for us to get to that point. And it went away like this. And that's half the point is that you can lose it all like that. Like, I won't disclose how much money we had sitting and everything else, but do the math. If I had 15 employees and they all made $1,000 a week, you could start to figure out what my payroll was. And that's not counting what we made or anything else for that matter. We were doing very well as a company. Now, that doesn't mean we were making a ton of money, because our overhead was very expensive. But that's okay because we had great employees until they became basically backstabbing piles of crap. I did everything the right way, which is the reason I could sleep at night. Jen and I had a decision. We could have taken the EIDLs and the PPPs, done a couple of weeks of payroll, which was what the requirement was, and kept the rest. We didn't take a paycheck during that entire time. Not once. Not one. It is what it is. On the low with CeeLo, what's happening? Yeah, and I mean, that's the other side of it, though, right, CeeLo? Is YouTube does pick and choose. Showing games, not showing games, showing content, not showing content, what they ban, what they don't ban. It's rough. There's no doubt. That's funny, Stevie. Asking a graphic designer 300. Ross, that's funny. So the biggest thing is it's very hard to rebuild a company of that magnitude in a short amount of time. It's very difficult. So it's going to take us a long time to build back up. Now we're focusing on a different aspect where I need service-driven people. Oh my goodness, that's mind-blowing. Because if we're doing personal concierge, I need people who can go into people's homes. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. But that doesn't mean that I don't have to run background checks, which cost money. And there are things that you have to be capitalized in order to grow your business. We're doing it from a point of trying to catch back up. And I'm trying to do it without bringing in an investor. Why? Because I don't want to be beholden. I want to grow the company the way that I did organically. And that's why we never sit here. We don't beg for money. We don't do these things. We sit here. We just bring magic. The rest of it is on us as business owners to do. It's not on you guys. So what happens is your support comes in watching us. When you want to buy products, like I have a list. I don't even know where it is. It's probably sitting on my other pad. Of the 30 some odd people who bought FPE bundles. Did we make a ton of money on them? No. It's because product got to move out the door. People got to show love and support. It makes people feel good. It made us feel incredible. How much love. I could have put those out there and nobody would have bought them. I'd have felt like crap. But the response was great. It sat there and said, we're doing something positive. We're doing something right. That was incredible. I mean, think about it. $25 for a t-shirt that we have to buy a t-shirt, have to buy the press, have to buy the koozies, the stickers, their shipping. Shipping's not cheap. It's not about the money. We wanted to do something to put product back in hand. I can't wait to see the photos of people wearing them. I'm probably, for the people who get merch from us and everything, I'm going to probably start running some where's as far as our merch can go, meaning like if you go on vacation, making sure you bring an FPE shirt, take a picture at the top of the Eiffel Tower. We'll give you something else. I don't know. I'm going to do some crazy stuff because I think it's fun. That's the whole point. So let's see. I've watched some of those very large channels turn away from them because their interaction with the chat. See, and Jill, that's exactly the point, right? So they're not talking to you. They don't want to hear your opinion. They don't care. They don't know who you are. They don't want to know who you are. I just got a call from the courthouse telling me to misplace my paperwork. That's great, Kate. You got to fight. That's all you can do. I always support local mom and pop. See, mom and pops are the best. My family, we grew up in mom and pops. We had all kinds of, my family's always been entrepreneurs. We've always had little businesses that, some of them have grown, others not so much. We went from being a very small nobody to a relatively large player in the wedding industry. And now we're out of it. I mean, it can happen that quickly. I mean, it's really crazy that this stuff can happen. So let's see here. And Kate, we appreciate that. Chris from Ear to Ear does, he does a great job. We try to do what we're doing. There are other channels, and there's a reason that I partner up with Sam. Sam's incredible at what he does. I'm super impressed by him. He does it way better than I do. I haven't been able to even call a Ranger game simply because of all of the other things that are going on with us. Our businesses, by the way, are exploding. It's not that they're not. It's we're having to work 50 times harder because I can't get good people, and we're on that cusp. So we're working on it. But, that's just kind of the way it goes. And it's funny because Jill put in there about the fact we have similar stories. And Jill and I have talked many a times offline. Many of you and I have talked offline. I do know most of your stories. I'm pretty easy to get in touch with. Everyone knows I'm sitting behind the camera. Jen's the one who's walking around. And, I mean, you guys realize we're accessible. We want to be accessible. Does that mean we're always going to be like this? I don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of issues on the other side of it. We've had a lot of crazy people. We have a couple of court orders for people not to bother us because it gets to be too much. But at the end of the day, that's the extreme. But we want to be accessible. We want to have this back and forth. If I didn't, I would turn off live stream. I would just walk around the park and you guys could talk amongst yourselves, or I would run a scroll at the bottom that says, we don't give a shit what you have to say. So let's see. Rather support buying Disney. Well, and Jordan, we appreciate that. Shut up, Mike. I went to sleep last night. Shoot me. I work with Wheeler to help him sometimes with because he shoots great content, and I try to help Mike as often as I can. Doesn't always work out for him the way I think it should, but Mike, I promise you I will get to it. And what Trish just put in there. She supports Cloud9 Getaways. Thanks to FP, he stepped up, and Trish had some issues. She jumped. Chris from Cloud9 jumped in. He and I were helping Trish, satisfy some of the issues that she was having, and that's what it's all about. If one business isn't taking care of your needs, sometimes you got to tell them to go pound salt and jump in and do it and do what needs to be done. Yeah, Jill, you have no idea. Jen wouldn't know what to do with two of me. And we need two of Jen, too. I mean, it's funny because one of the things that we're working on from our personal side is time management, because a 5-hour live stream in the park is 8 hours. It's 8 or 9 hours. There's prep leading up. There's things we have to do after. When we're setting streams, we have to make sure that they're optimized. We have stuff that we have to do. And then there's getting to the park, getting into the park, getting done with the park, getting stuff home from the park. Then once we get home, there's the second and third avenues of business. If we're doing the shopping aspect, we've got to bring it in, tag it all so that we know who's going to where. So, I mean, we're working on average right now about 20 hours a day. So we're busting it around the clock. Plus we homeschool, plus we have a business, plus we have home stuff to do. And, oh, God forbid if we should take 15 minutes of downtime, there's a guilt that happens when you own a small business and you work from home, because it's like, well, I should be working because I've left stuff on the table. And that's an issue where you have to sit there and stop sometimes and just say, I have to stop for a minute. Like today, when we get done with this today, here shortly, it's family time. Bella needs us to be not just doing what we're doing, but to decorate for Christmas, to get ready for Christmas, to have some of the fun stuff, to have that downtime, to have daddy-daughter time, to have mommy-daughter time, to have family time. Because that is the number one, I can't even speak, important priority in my life is my family. Plain and simple. The rest of this could go away tomorrow. We lost it overnight. I found what the most important thing is. They're downstairs right now. The rest of it doesn't matter. If it all went away again tomorrow, which it could happen. Let me tell you something. I never thought in a million years. The three things our marketing company dealt with, we dealt with hotels, restaurants and bars, and the wedding industry. And I sat there and I actually said the words, all three won't be affected at once. Really? They all closed overnight. Business gone. What if the parks tomorrow said, you guys are done? Yeah, we do personal shopping. Yes, we do concierge. Would we be affected? Yeah. Would we recover? I hope so. I hope that we learned from our last experience. I don't know if that's the case. Jordan, and I appreciate that, buddy. I do. You know, the biggest thing is we're anybody that wants to, you know, first of all, Jordan, I know your situation. I know what you do. I know what you're up to, and I wish that there were the funny part about it is the people who want to help us the most are the people that are already involved. I mean, you guys are all already involved. It's not. I shouldn't say it's not a financial issue. It's not just a financial issue. It's a worldly thing, and that's what BearShark is here to do, is to sit here and say, hey, big businesses don't care. Support those local guys, whether it's us or not. It doesn't matter. If there's an Etsy store that makes a tumbler, go get it from them. You need you need t-shirts made for your family trip, contact us. You want, as soon as I get my laser engraver, you guys need tumblers made, this made for your small business, for your this. Talk to us. Maybe we could trade something out. Maybe there's 100 things we can do. Let's see. Cloud9 for a couple of strips. Chris is outstanding. See, and you guys are seeing it right here. Cloud9 isn't even in here. He's getting absolute accolades because as a small business owner, he's kicking ass. Gator Ghost is using them. Trish is using them. I know several other people have used them. I use them. Okay, we've had nothing but really, really good experiences. He's who FPE Meetup is using. If you're not coming on our cruise, why not? Get the hell on board. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be insane. Get to use all those products I was talking about, like laser engravers. Both of you have 2 full-time jobs, life issues. I don't know how you do it. I was always a hard worker. You know, Jill, the truth is, we don't have choice. Sometimes in life, there are choices. We could have sat there and said, "Let's do this differently." I'll give you the very, very short version. When you look at your bank account and go, "Oh shit," and then you sit there and go, "There's not enough time. What do I do?" You get very creative, and you go, "I've got a house that I can't not have a roof over our head. Food's got to be on the table, and we have things that have to be done. We don't have choice." Then when you work for free for almost a year, which is pretty much what I did while I was building FPE Network, which, by the way, flopped because my partner was an asshole. He totally screwed us, and it reset everything. Every dime I put in FPE Network went out the window. It was a disaster. And you live and learn. So then you go to a place where you go, well, now what? And even though I was in the process of rebuilding, at least all of that work didn't go to nothing. Then it turns out that there's this redheaded woman who's incredible at live streaming. And you guys have just taken to her like a duck in water. And thankfully it happened when I hurt my back and my leg at the same time. It was like, yay. Because when I got hurt, I didn't know what to do. And Jen's like, well, I guess I go live streaming. And I'm like, you can't do that. And next thing I know, boom. She went from 30 to 50 people to 200 to 100, 150. Like, her numbers blew mine out of the water. And a lot of people are like, where are you? You guys want her. Great. I don't care. It's not about me. It's not my ego. My wife is incredible. If I can support her being the best that she can be, that's my job as her husband. And I'm proud of her. So it comes down to sometimes just knowing what's needed. Working a 20-hour day is because Bella needs us to. She needs us to. And I'll do anything. There's nothing I won't do for them. If it means 24 hours a day, that's what it'll take. There was a point a couple of weeks ago when business was exploding. We were in the process of writing some contracts to get some homes. I was napping about 2 hours, getting up, working until I passed back out for 2 hours and got back up and kept working. And I did it for almost 2 weeks. Health-wise, it wasn't spectacular. Okay, I get a little to a place where I seem like I'm absent-minded, and I probably am because I'm not. I lose total track of time. but it's what's needed. Jordan, and if there's anything that I can do to help with the FPE meetup, let us know. We'll be happy to do it. Yeah, Jill, I mean, Vegas got hit, especially when they sat there. You know, you guys got hit twice when they were said, oh, you don't need to go out to Vegas for conventions. Kate, the best advice I can give you on growing a YouTube channel, be yourself. Be genuine, provide content, and be consistent. That's the best advice I could tell you. Oh, Jill, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. It's ridiculous. Jordan, it's not that. It's just at the end of the day, she has a special way about her. And you know what? I love her. I'm not surprised the rest of the world does. I'm not surprised that everybody sat there and said, well, wait a second. Her personality is infectious. Her laugh is infectious. And she's providing a service that everybody wants. We developed a concept that by accident, and it works. And it's helped us grow, and it's been helping in every way you guys can possibly imagine. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Yeah, and as Jill just put in there, it's a perfect setup. She's rocking at the streaming, and I do graphics, I get to produce, and something else. I get to be back here. What I'm good at is business, so I get to run the other aspects of the business. If I'm producing and Jen's doing her thing, I can still be doing emails. I can still be building the other parts of the business. I can still be doing graphic design. I can still be doing the things that are necessary with Bella. Bella and I hang out. And we do all kinds of stuff. So, Gator, I appreciate that. I try very hard to put in commercials. But that's the thing is everything has to be about a great balance. And I think that we've accomplished those goals. What are we talking about? Think about how the conversation has changed. We are literally sitting here talking about us as a small business, and how our service and what you guys are putting in there about Cloud9, about us as streamers, about us as we do it. Think about the people, because I know which ones of you have gotten treasure boxes. We have yet to get a complaint. Now, I'm hoping it's not because people are blowing sunshine up our ass. I'm hoping it's because we took the time to not only know you, but to listen to your list and to go and personally shop for you to put your treasure box together. The service is what people pay for. I had a conversation on the way back from Enterprise yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give the guy a free plug. Where is it? This guy picked me up yesterday. Told you I use small businesses. There's his information. He's a Highline executive travel service. He basically picks people from the airport. He does all this other stuff. We had a great conversation yesterday. I'm going to be using him for concierge. He's going to be doing my airport runs. He's going to be picking my people up. He's going to be doing the things that I need done. He may be actually helping with the FPE meetup. He may be the driver that takes us all to Port Canaveral. He may be whatever I need him to be, because that's what we do. But this conversation that I had with him yesterday, one of the things that I had said to him was, anybody can drive a car. It's the service that I pay for. It's the same thing with anything else. You guys could pick anybody to watch. What service do they provide? When it comes to food, do you want to order from Domino's or do you want to order from Mom and Paparia? That's you. That's on you. Do you want to have something that was made for you or do you want something that was just made in a factory? Do you want McDonald's, or do you want to support the guy who's a line cook trying to feed his family? These are choices you make. Customer loyalty is gone based on price. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be price conscious. Like, I shouldn't pay $28 for a hamburger if I don't have to. But at the same time, there's a happy medium somewhere. Support your local businesses. Your big businesses don't care. Evil business in you. I started off with it and I'll end with it. Enterprise threatened us with felony. My finance company flat out lied to me. They have a fiduciary responsibility and they're not allowed to. My insurance company, they didn't work for me. They're working against me. They've done everything they could possibly do to make my life miserable. Never buy insurance from Allstate, National General Insurance, or Direct Auto. They are all the same company. Screw them. Do your business. Contact a local agent. Talk to them. I agree with you, Gator Ghost. Are you the treasure box? I cannot believe that Jen found unique Loungefly matching hat to go with it. I'm like, and that's the point, Jill, is she puts everything into it. We want to make sure that we provide the best. We could have went to a bunch of places, just raked a bunch of shit in a box, called it a day, slapped a sticker on it. It's not who we are. It's not what we do. That is not the brand we are building. The brand we are building is around you guys. Everything we do is for you guys. Last night we started our 12 days of FPE. They're going to continue on today. Anything that you guys need from us, you know how to get in touch with us. We're really easy to get in touch with. Anything that we can do, help support small business. Support our small business. Share it out to people. Let people know that there's a great small business. They could get Disney merch for the holidays. They got a week left before we can't get it, or maybe 10 days before we can't get it to them anymore. We had 3 boxes come in last night for birthday present or for Christmas presents. And it's Jordan. That's awesome. Kate, it's rough. It is. Well, Gator Ghost, it's funny you should say that because somebody came in the chat last night and said, hey, I'm going to buy boxes and blah, blah. And I got off of the stream and I looked at Jen and I go, well, they're annual pass holders. Why? Like, I don't get it. And Gator, I get that. That's kind of the point. Like, the people who live here, you don't need us. That's cool. But at the same time, there are tons of people who, if you share out something and sat there and said, hey, you know what? I don't provide that service, but they do. That helps us. That's fantastic. FPE equals for the people every time. Mike, that's actually a great saying. I appreciate that. And by the way, we're changing Wheeler's name to Darth Wheeler. I'm wearing my Darth Vader shirt today. I was going to be Darth BearShark, but Darth Wheeler. But, look, and Gator, we appreciate that. The thing is everybody always thinks that it's not as easy as just sharing our story, sharing a post. It's really that easy. If you're talking to somebody and you're sitting there and you're having one of those conversations where it's like, and they go, why are you a Disney fan? Well, I'm a Disney fan because, I get to do this and it makes me feel happy. And yeah, I can get this merch and I can get that. And, people send it to my doorstep or they'll send it as a friend or this or that. You can brighten someone's day by doing that. Now, the best part about it is just because we have treasure boxes doesn't mean you can't go to Jen and say, hey, by the way, there's a shirt I want to buy for somebody and have it mailed to them. Personal shopping service. You get a t-shirt and send it to somebody. You need it gift wrapped? We do gift wrapping. Like, what don't we do? We do it all. Contact us. We'll be happy to do it. Let's see. If she comes across something I think will be sold out, I would buy. But that's the thing is, so many people contact us because it's sold out on the website that shall not be named. And then they call us and say, hey, can we get this? If they contacted us first, we'd get it before it goes out. There's so many things that we can do, but the difference is, got to reach out. It starts with that. The biggest thing is by growing the channels, we grow in support. I think I'm 4 subscribers away on BearShark to hitting 800. We're about 17 away or 16 away last I looked from 6,900 over on FPE. I'm hoping we're going to hit the 7K mark or 7,500 mark over there. That's been my goal. If we don't hit it, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what? On FPE, I don't say it. I'm going to be pissed. We bust our ass for it. So timing is everything sometimes. Actually, I think timing is everything all the time. It's funny because I had this conversation the other day. So basically you had to make serious adjustments in the last couple of years and it's been affecting your life tremendously. That's brutal. I didn't really understand. You went through. The truth is, Blair, we keep a lot of, like, on the Disney Channel that we have, it's always about you guys. And BearShark TV is not about me sitting here saying, oh, feel bad for me, because I don't. I don't feel bad for anything that we went through. I believe that life experience makes you become a better person. I believe if you get your ass kicked, get back up and kick its ass. That's what BearShark is. Over on the other channel, it is about bringing you guys magic. It's about you guys coming in saying, I had a shit day. I'm relying on my community to make me feel better. We're not there to tell you that life sucks. We're there to tell you how magical it is. So you can be at the right place at the wrong time, the right place at the right time. Without a doubt, Joe. Without a doubt. That's because of business. Yeah. And I mean, the bottom line is we do 3 different channels. 4 technically with Bellas. The main channel is to bring you guys magic. You guys want or need anything that's Disney or the theme parks or anything, that's what it's there for. It's there to spread happiness, to be a beacon of positivity. BearShark TV is here to punch you in the throat, kick you in the nads, say, hey, look, this is bullshit. This isn't the way the world's supposed to work. And it's to have a voice for everybody. It's because common sense is dead, and we need to hit it with some paddles. We need to bring back common sense and say enough is enough. Like this other shit that's going on in the world, you're all stupid. Like that's not the world. That's not the way the world works. Blair, we're coming back, and we're coming back with a vengeance. Over on the Sports Network, if I can ever get back to it, that's for every guy who wants to sit there and yell at the TV and say the ref sucks or this happens. Sam calls the game as if you're watching it on a national televised channel. He's incredible, except he brings so much flair, panache. Sam blows me away with the way that he calls. Me, I'm an everyday idiot who's screaming at the television. Bella's channels for kids. It's that simple. You have no idea how much I appreciate the FP family with cancer been kicking my ass and chemo. And Jordan, and that's the thing is, we've gotten to know you. We love you. We care about what's happening with you. We pray for you every day. I have no problem on this channel sitting there saying, I'm a faith-based individual. I lean into it more and more and more every day. I don't get into it on FP because it's not the place for it. But here I can tell you right now, the worse things get, the more I lean into my faith and the better things come out for me. So take it the way you want it. But I keep leaning in. I keep finding the answer. Let's see. I felt that I was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, no doubt. When I got transferred. Yeah. Look, when you make a difference in people's lives, it comes back in a positive way. All right, everybody. Here's the deal. Support small businesses. If you're supporting a big business because you have no choice, you have no choice. Okay? But demand the best out of them. Make sure that if you're looking at a pen or clips, you're going to buy them on takeawebsite.com. And this is $4 for 10 of them. But your local store sells them for $4.25. Buy them from them. Spend the 25 cents. Be a loyal customer to the people in your community. Be a loyal supporter of the channels and live streamers who do it the right way. Yeah, it's easy to turn a blind eye and say, well, you know what? I'm bored. I just want to watch so-and-so. If their numbers went from X to minus 50, they would notice. Maybe they would ask a chat question. Maybe they would go to their chat like we have and said, what is it you guys want to see? Do you want more of this? Do you want more balance? Do you want that? And you guys responded. When I say to you guys, what do you think of this product before we release it? You guys respond. We come to you. You are what makes FPE. Period. Period. So, you know, it just is what it is. You know, Teresa, the other thing you can do, like I said, you've heard in here, Cloud9 Getaways kills it, Chris kills it, either one. We support them. We support those channels and those businesses. CeeLo, Sam is fantastic. He's incredible. And by the way, I still need to talk to you, CeeLo, because I'm trying to get you hooked up with Cloud9 Getaways, so that you know why I'm trying to reach out to you. But guys, support those small businesses. If you have any questions, reach out to us. I'm happy to help. What most people don't know is I'm also a small business coach, and I do it for free. Why do I do it for free? Because I like to give back. I think most people have realized that because I give away more product than anybody. And I would challenge any channel against what they give away versus what we give away. And that's not me pounding my chest. That's just me sitting here saying, I believe in you. I believe in the fact that our people, and I'll challenge us, our mods are the best, our members are the best, and our viewers are the best. You guys come in, you talk with one another, you encourage one another, and you do the best for one another that you possibly can. I am so proud of the DMs that I get about my mods, about our members, and about our channel. Because our channel is you. Plain and simple. People come in and sit there and say, you guys, you talk to us. You guys, if we're having a crappy day, you'll respond to our Instagram. Do I get to every one of them? I would love to tell you I do. I don't. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I have over 10,000 people on my Instagram channel. I get a lot of messages and I get a lot of feedback on my channel or on my page. I post stories every day, and I get upwards of 500, 600, 700 response. I don't see everything. I really wish I did. Emails, I see almost every one of those. So that's something else. We're trying to come up with a way where I can still remain interactive with everybody because we are growing, and I want to make sure that stays there because that is super important for us. You inspire all of us, Dave, to get in the giveaways. We love it. Jill, that's actually 100% true. You guys, all of a sudden, the stream we did for the hurricane started out as me giving away a couple of things, and I mean, holy crap. I couldn't believe how much stuff we gave away that night. I mean, I think 5 people jumped in with $25 shopping sprees for Jen. Chris from Cloud9 jumped in with giveaways. Gator, shut up. And Theo's all caught up on the live stream now. But we literally we want to remain interactive with you guys. We want that experience because if I didn't, I wouldn't do this. That's for sure. If you think about it right now, you guys can see there's 22 people sitting in here watching. There's not 200. And we sat here for an hour and 25 minutes and we went off. So, yeah, I mean, Jill, that night was insane. My dad once said to me, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you have to follow your passion. You have to do your stuff. But when it comes to our community, it's very simple. It's about you. Never think it's anything other than that. It's not. It just doesn't matter. Chase your dreams, folks. Do what you're supposed to do. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. We can rebuild the things in this country that don't make sense because at the end of the day, we need this to make sense again. The next BearShark rant is coming up next week, maybe over the weekend. I've got a lot of things that I want to get off my chest. The next one is political. So, yeah, if your head explodes about politics, you might want to avoid that one because I'm coming after it. And I can tell you right now, conservatives, liberals, this one's going to hurt both. This is not about left or right, but right and wrong. It is literally about the fact that our country is going down a shit tube as fast as it possibly can, and we keep reinventing new ways to do stupid shit. Another stream that is coming from BearShark will be about the holidays and how to survive them. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Jill, I'm actually going to be putting up the thumbnail for it so that this way it can gain a little bit of steam. I'd like to get some people in here. I will tell you there's going to be rules. I'm going to start it off that day. There is no bullying on any channel I do. Anybody who gets bullied gets banned. Period. End of story. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a mod. We don't bully people. So we can all have Discord, and one of the things that we're going to hammer home is civil Discord is not dead. If it is, too bad. We're going to have civil Discord on this channel. And we will have it to a place where you don't agree with somebody, that's fine. But let's discuss it. And it may be a 3-hour stream where we sit there and we talk about how do we make this better? How do we make this country back to where it was? What do we do? How do we do it? We're going to take on these topics one at a time. If there's a topic that you would like us to go over, you could very easily hit me up at tvbearshark@gmail.com. Go on over and throw it in. Suggest an idea for a topic. I would love to hear it. I've got 2 that I want to get off my chest. If there's something that you guys want to hear or see, absolutely do it. But remember, when it comes to your feelings,
Who cares?
I don't care about your feelings. It's not about your feelings. It's about making things better. It's about bringing awareness. I'm sitting here saying, hey, enough is enough, everybody. Michael's in the chat. What's up, Michael? It's good to see you. It's not about feelings. We are going to tackle things and go after it. Hopefully, I still have as many subscribers at the end of that stream as when I started. I doubt I will, and that's okay too, because at the end of the day, I don't do this to have everybody like me. I do this because I think that awareness needs to be brought on certain things. So we're going to attack some politics. We're going to attack families. We're going to go after the holidays and how to survive them. It's the BearShark survival tips of the holiday season coming up in 2 BearShark streams. The next one, like I said, the next one ought to be pretty freaking interesting. That's for sure. It's Jordan, I may take you up on that. But with that, everybody, the next BearShark is going to be interesting. So make sure you've got your popcorn ready on the next one. You've got gallons of drink because we're going to go after it and we're going to address the topics. So if there's things that you want to talk about and you want to make sure that you get your topic brought up, get your questions in for political answers. If you want to do it, let's have some fun. I am the BearShark. I come at you live, brutally honest television. We don't care about feelings on this channel. We don't care about political correctness. We don't care about those things. What we care about is being honest, being true, and coming at you live, coming at you hard. And with that, we will see you guys on the next go-round. I'm the BearShark. You guys are the best. I appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Tomorrow, obviously, go check out our big channel doing the processional. And we're going to go eat at Beer Garden thanks to Rob and Trish. We appreciate everybody's support of doing this. Make sure you share this out. Have some fun. Go hit the like on the other channel. Make sure we get over 800 over here. Do all the things you know you're supposed to do. But with that, BearShark TV says, have a great day, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks for watching BearShark TV, the place where your feelings get hurt and don't matter, where offensive is not a bad word, where you can't look away from a plane crash, a train wreck, or anything else that makes you feel bad. Thanks for watching BearShark TV, and until next time, this is your host, the BearShark. See you next time.